Hello and welcome to episode 500 of my Minecraft Let's Play. Episode 500 is a milestone that I did not even dream of when I started this Let's Play, and now I'm here. We are here. So thank you guys. I just wanted to take a second to say thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed reading your comments, and just the support is awesome. I recently hit 100 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. So thank you for that. And so this episode, similar to what I did in episode 200, is I'm going to be giving a world tour, a full world tour of everything I've built, I guess, in the last 500 episodes. And let's get started doing that then. So I started off here because this is the area I spawned in. This tree here, I believe, is the tree that I spawned on top of. With a view similar. I can't remember if it was like this or like this, but I did not have distant horizons installed then, so keep that in mind. So I didn't see as far as I do now. And I made my way this way after cutting down that tree to over here. This area is a dirt bridge that I built a little later, but I made my way over here, and after getting some materials, I think food and stuff or whatever, over here in a cave is where I spent my first night. Then I made my way over this direction where we will find my starter house. Again, similar to episode 200, I did do a world tour then, so I would have touched on this before, but it's just fun to go over it again. So this is my starting house with my starting animal pen of cows and chickens, pumpkins and melons and wheat and stuff, but this is the house, and in the house you can see my commemorative very first wooden pickaxe and wooden sword. And this is where I first decided to settle in this land, in this world of Minecraft. Moving on, we're going to head this direction, even though there's a little bridge over there, but I'll skip that, to over here where you can see this bridge. Now this bridge I built quite a bit later. I built it around episode 203. Between 203 and 207 is where I built this bridge that connected these two parts of my world, the old and the new, as I call them. It was just a dirt bridge before, but then around episode 200, I upgraded this part here. So then we find ourselves at the main base here. As you can see, I guess since episode 200, a lot has changed, and we're going to go through it. So we're going to start off at my base. So this is like my new base, I call it. That was my starter base. This is my new base. I built it in episode 11. I started building it in episode 11, so not very new at episode 500, but I saw this floating island and I thought it'd be a really cool place to build a house under, so that's what I did. At first it was just a big wooden structure, basically made out of jungle wood planks, but later on, around episode 338 to 350 or so, I revamped this exterior to make it a lot more appealing with different textures and wood uses, block usages, just to make it a little bit more appealing as a build and not just a big ugly wooden base. So I'm really quite proud with how it turned out. I put a lot of work into it, and really took a lot of my free time trying to figure out how I could upgrade my base, and this is what came out of it. We can head inside now through the doors to see the interior that I've got here. I also upgraded this. Originally it was pretty plain, but then I upgraded it to how I have it here. So here's the main lobby area. Still some remnants of my classic base with just a line of blocks here, of functional blocks. There's a map of my base. It's missing a lot of it, but the spirit is there. Then some paintings and stuff. Over here, this area is just more for just how it looks. It just looks nice, so it's a little study area. And yeah, heading into the bedroom here. This is where I first started when I started redoing the interior. I thought I'll start with the bedroom, and I'm really quite proud of how it turned out. I like the gray carpet, not very appealing, but it's kind of simple, and then the wood floor has a cool texture that I like. And yeah, a big bed, a picture, a self-portrait, and yeah, Moving on, we're gonna head down. Actually, we'll head upstairs first and check out the upstairs area. So up here, we have a little smithing area here, and then over here is the potions area, and then over here is the enchanting area. And then back here is kind of just nothing for now, and then we can go up the stairs to see the roof here. This is pretty much exactly how it was. I lit it up a bit, but these trees were here originally. You can see a sign for my episode 1 celebration where I lit off some fireworks to celebrate 100 episodes. That was on July 25th, 2025. Moving on to the basement, which I forgot about, is my storage basement. So my storage basement, I originally started building it on episode 221 until about 230, episode 230. And I've upgraded it quite a bit since then. So I've added this lava trash can where if you put blocks in here, it will dispense them out. And then my little buddy here, Happy Gas, not so happy yet. He's just more of a decoration piece. And then, yeah, the storage area, there's an exit over there, an exit here. And then down here is my water elevator for down and up. So you can go down and up the water elevator. We can head on down and we can see this tunnel here that I made. And going through the tunnel leads me to my mob farm area. So I have a zombie farm here. As you can see, lots of zombie farm stuff, as well as a lava farm where I still need to fix this one. But yeah, this is my little underground area. Going down there is where I did a lot of strip mining. You can actually see if I go through the wall here, you can see some mining I did here. But this is where I did a lot of branch mining for diamonds. So let's get up through here. So we can head up through the doors here and come out at our base here. So this is like kind of the main area of the base. I don't really know what to call it. It's kind of just my land where I have a lot of stuff that I built. And we're going to get started looking at some of the stuff. So here is my wheat farm and beet farm. We have the carrots and potatoes. Then we have some sugar cane here. And then this is a recent build, my automatic cactus farm and my little sweet berries. And then my pumpkin and melon farm. You see here my jack-o'-lantern that I built for Halloween. It's not even Halloween yet as of recording this, but still time to be in the spirit. I'm gonna look here for a quick second. This is my tree farm where you can like grow and it'll push trees. It's got pistons and it'll push trees. It's like a tree farm. I never really used it that much because I never had that much bone meal. But here is my bone meal farm and it's been working quite well lately. I don't know if it's working right now. It was working just fine a little bit ago, but I'll have to have another look at it another time. And so lots of bone meal in there. So over here is my automatic sugarcane farm, right next to my non-automatic sugarcane farm. Moving back down here, this is where we came out of for the underground zombie area. This is my bamboo farm. So let's head back over here. I ignored some of the bees over here. And this is my brick flower garden. It's just a flower garden built out of bricks, but I really like this build because I designed it myself. So even though it's not the most fancy, I still enjoy it. And I took inspiration of building within like a chunk border. So this is like a 16 by 16 chunk. It's actually not inside a chunk itself, like an actual chunk in my game, but it's just, I took inspiration by it. We could head over here to see a well that I built and some street signs. There's one here and then there's one over here, which they are kind of out of date. I built them quite early on. So right in here it says crop farm because a crop farm used to be the only thing over here. And then over here is animal farm and there's more over there too. Over here is my to-do list, which I could probably cross some things off because I recently completed making an auto cactus farm and making a berry farm. And then one of these two, making a jungle tree house, which I also did. But anyways, that's pretty much everything over here. So we can head over this way to see my animal breeding pens. This one I got inspired by a build for like a horse stable, but then I turned it into a multi-animal farm. So over here is my greenhouse, which I am really proud of this build. I did follow a tutorial, so it's not an original build at all, but I just really like all the colors and all the different pieces of Minecraft that kind of come together for this build. I really like that. Moving on to this direction, we have this little bridge, and then this area originally was a pathway that led to the desert, So I built this little desert staircase and an arch to signify the entrance to the desert. But my most recent build is actually this treehouse, which I did follow a tutorial for, but I took my own creative liberties with the staircase up. I made a little spiral staircase up. I still have a bit more work to do on this. I'd like to add like maybe another treehouse that you can only get to it through like a rope bridge to another tree. So maybe I'll do that over here, but for now, this is my jungle treehouse. We're going to head back this direction to see this side of my base here. So back here is a cobblestone or stone generator that I use just to get some cobblestone when I need some. And then a big spruce tree forest area here, because I was using a lot of it for my, or just various builds, but my greenhouse there. Up here is my nether portal. So I believe this is the first nether portal that I built in this world, and I put it up on this hill. Down here, there's a little tunnel that leads through this hill and down, leading to this other area of my base, which goes down here, and then over here you can see my happy ghast that way. He's very happy. I have not used him in a very long time. I built him quite early on, or I don't know. I don't know if I built him or I got him a long time ago, but then I kind of forgot about him. Over here is my villager wheat farm that he seems to have trampled a bunch of, but this build, I think it was mainly a bedrock version build that I did not know that. I didn't know that villagers behave differently between versions, so I built this whole thing, and then it doesn't really work that well. Also because I'm not really in this area very often. And then moving on down here is my fishing dock, which is somewhere. I wanted to have a fishing dock in like a boating dock because I like to travel through boats, and I have not fished yet. I still haven't even got the catch a fish advancement, so whoops. So now we're going to move on to another area, which is over here. We'll fly over, and it's kind of the secondary area. That's my main area, this would be my secondary little area. So over here is a village, and this was the first village that I discovered. And then I built this nether portal because it's kind of far from my main base. So I built this nether portal to travel through the nether to go back to my main base. But when I came back, I didn't come through this portal. I had come through another portal, which is over here. We'll follow this trail that I had laid out just to know where to go. And it's over here. So this is originally it was my villager breeding area. So I wanted to make a villager trader, and I knew I had to make it near a village. So I started building it, and then I realized actually I need a villager breeder first. So this is my villager breeder. And once I built it, I was like, I need to wait for villagers to spawn before I can start my trading outpost, which is over there. So I'm going to find something else to build. So I started building this watchtower, which I haven't actually used. I followed a tutorial to build it, and then I haven't really used it. But I needed a place to sleep, so I built this little cozy campsite over here for sleeping while I built my watchtower. Then over here, there's a railway system. So this tutorial that I followed for the villager breeder, it had the minecarts, or the villagers come out through a minecart. So I thought I'll just adapt that and make a little minecart track that led over to this area. There's a nice little bridge here that I built. I'm a big fan of it. It's pretty simple, but I like it. And then over here is the villager trading area. So this trading area has all the different villager types that you can trade with. I haven't really used it that much, but only for like mending, because this guy is mending. I got pretty lucky on that. This is kind of getting into the area that I would consider my like second home. So over here is my iron farm. So I haven't really used it a whole lot, but oh, now it's working. But it's a farm that gets iron. Moving on, we can head this way, which has my castle here. This is a castle that I built following a tutorial. I haven't really used it much since, because I follow a tutorial, and if I follow a tutorial, I don't have a lot of like care for the buildings, I guess, just because I didn't think of it myself. It's not my creation. I just wanted to build a castle because I like building castles in Minecraft. So then moving on to this area, which has my bee farm over here. and then some wheat farms over here. And this is my rainbow wool collection. As you can see, I guess a wolf came and ate all my white sheep, but I almost have all the sheep. I used to have some white sheep in here, but I guess they've been eaten, so I'll have to add a fence around this or something. Then this is a storage hut, or little storage area for all the different wool types, as you can see. And then this is a little hut that I made to sleep in while I worked on it. So you can see another nether portal over here. Then moving on to this build, which is a recent build of a castle that I made. Yeah, this is a build that I'm very proud of. It's still in progress because I'd like to add something inside here. Like I'd like to add like a center building or something, or a tower or something, and then around the edges, so it won't fill this whole area, but it'll just be like a little area inside, and then around the edges will be like some pathways and stuff with different market booths and maybe a pig pen or something. I'd like to have different kind of things in here to make it more of like a castle town-esque kind of vibe. But for the most part, I designed this myself. I took inspiration from different tutorials for how to build castles and just vibes. So I'm really proud of this one. This is like one that I built myself, so pretty proud of it. So now we are going to move on to what I would call random builds. I guess this is a random build here. This is just a random little hut I slept in while searching for a village a long time ago, because this is still in the same area, so the village is over there. But we're going to look at some random builds, I would say, that I've built around my world. So this is one of the first kind of random areas I built. I call it my mining outpost, because when I came across this land, I found this huge jumbo cave over here, and I wanted to go mining in a nice cave. So I found that, and I decided to build a little outpost here. So here is where I sleep. It's pretty simple, just a basic little hut with some smithing stuff, and yeah, and attached a little farm. Over here is a stable that I built because I used a horse to travel over to this area, and so I built a little stable. And then there's another horse from another adventure, which I'll get to a little later, and then another portal here. Over here is another build that is just a really long bridge. So that other horse with, I think, the gold on it, I can't quite remember, I used it to go on an adventure where I was searching for a pale oak biome because I wanted to check it out, and there's one over here, and I wanted to get it over here, and I was from over here, so I was on this side, so I built this super long just wooden bridge, no supports or nothing. Eventually I think I'd like to come back to this and make a huge suspension bridge. I think that'd be a really cool build. It just kind of serves no purpose because I'm not over here at all. This is just like a one-time thing, and I was like, I just want to build a huge bridge. So I did, but someday maybe if I get bored enough or I'm looking for something to do, I could possibly fill out this bridge. Next is this little snowy house here. So a while ago, when I didn't have any spruce trees, I set out on an adventure trying to find some spruce wood, and I came across a spruce biome and eventually this little village where I decided to settle by making a little spruce house, which is kind of cool, kind of cozy. And you can head in. It's just a nice little spruce base. Around the time of this build was when I was building bases based on the environment. So I built like a cozy spruce base, and then later we'll get to another one where I built a house based on the biome I was in, but my main base is in a jungle, and it's all out of jungle words. So yeah, this is a nice little area here. It's quite small. I didn't stay here very long. As you can see, there's still like trees disappearing. I haven't been here in that long. And then a ruined portal that I fixed up to use as another pathway to get home. So this is my ugly birch base, as I call it. And this is a base that I built after I was on a Nether adventure and looking for a Nether fortress. And when I got there, it was quite far from my original Nether portal. So I built a little base in the Nether, built a portal, and ended up here in this birch forest. So I decided to build a nice little birch home following a tutorial for the build, but then I just used all birch blocks because I was in a birch biome and I kind of like that. So Yeah. So now we are in the desert, and I built this sand castle. It's more of a sand tower, but the story here is that I was just adventuring through the desert. That's kind of near, I think that's my jungle over there. Over here, you can see my sand castle. I forget how many floors. I think there's kind of 6 floors if you count the ground floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I just wanted to build up a nice sand castle in the sand biome, the desert, for fun. Moving on to this area, which is in the south, and this is my giant mountain base, kind of castle-y. The inspiration behind this base is that I had a world growing up on my friend's Xbox. He had Minecraft, and in that world, I took a mountain and converted it into like a castle base with little areas poking out of cobblestone castle kind of things. So this build, I took inspiration from that memory, and I also like the idea of having these rounded kind of castle things poking out. And yeah, so we can head inside. It's pretty empty because I kind of built the space, but I didn't have a purpose. I wasn't really settling here. It was just more an adventure, and it was just something to do. So after a while, I was like, I don't really feel like being here anymore. So I ended up building another portal, as you can see there, and leaving. But this is still a kind of fun build, just digging out a mountain and then kind of turning it into a little castle. Then I also wanted to highlight the entrance to this build. There's just these random things here, but I did a little spiral staircase. So there's a little step up here and then a wooden. And then if you look up here, there's this spiral wooden staircase that leads up into it. This is something I was really proud of. Also, if you can see through the mountain here, there's these little windows that shoot out. So you can kind of see the different floors, I guess. Not really floors, but just the levels of the stairs. And I just really liked this spiral staircase. It took me a long time. It's just something I felt like doing. And yeah. Over here is my little mangrove hut. It's really not super notable, but this is just what I did on episode 400, was I'd go on an adventure to find a mangrove swamp because I really wanted some red looking wood. And this is just a little hut I built and nether portal to get home, but just thought I'd note it here as well. Moving on, here is my cherry house. So I did an adventure. I do a lot of adventures if you can't tell, but I did a little adventure to find a cherry grove biome, and I found one here up on the mountain. So I thought I'll build a little cherry house out of cherry wood. And in here you can see I got a little cat here from a village that was across the valley over there somewhere. I guess you can see it right there. And I brought him over and built this little hilly, I guess it's on a mountain, I'd call it, cherry grove, little cute house. And again, another portal to get home. My next random build, kind of random, is this one here, which is a taiga base. So here's like an old growth taiga, which have these huge spruce trees. So I took one of the tall spruce trees here and converted it into a little tree house. So in here, there's a little bunch of dogs because I found a bunch of dogs and decided to make friends with them all, and a little balcony, and yeah, a little spruce here. This is kind of a base too, more so than just a random house. So I got some farms here, some sugarcane and pumpkins. I decorated with a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns because Halloween is approaching. So I decided, or when I built this, Halloween was approaching, and it still is, but I wanted to build a little jack-o'-lantern area. And then a bunch of animals for the cold climate. I like the idea of having different farms for the different climate animals. So this is kind of cold climate here. I really like it. And then down here in this cave is my nether portal that I used to get home. My next build is this little igloo that I made. I think there's naturally spawning igloos as well, but this is an igloo that I spent the night one night while I was on an adventure to the west. I wanted to explore really far out, and I came across the Snowy Peaks biome, and I thought, oh, I gotta build a little sleep spot igloo with a little campfire inside to commemorate my little time here. Then over here, even further west, is this little area where I found this ruined portal. It decided that I wanted to use it to go home, so I made a little base here. So I've got this little dock with some lanterns here hanging. Then I converted a cave into a nice cozy little mangrove house with a nice little picture there, and made the dock, and yeah. All right, so now we are in the Nether, and I wanted to do a little tour of Nether since this is a significant part of my Let's Play series as well, to commemorate on this episode 500. So here is the starting point area. This is where the portal for my main base comes out. And I built this big glass box around it and a pathway system. It has evolved over the series. I know that originally it was a lot less neat and tidy, I guess, as it is now, but I put a lot of work into it to make it make the Nether more safely accessible and traversable. So as when you come out of here, there's two different ways to go. You can go left to the village and end portal, and actually there's way more stuff down that way too I'd need to add. And then this way it says mining outpost, Cherry Grove, and Nether Fortress. So we're going to go left first because this was the first area that I originally traveled, I believe. So if we get down here, there's this kind of pathway system, but if we look around here, you can kind of see some remnants of my old pathway system. So you can see a little old staircase here that led this way, and it used to lead kind of over here through this kind of area. But as you can see, it's kind of dangerous, so I decided to switch to using slabs that block enemy spawns and go over here. So this way, it says to the desert tower, and then here is to village and end portal. So over here, actually, if you go all the way up there and then back, there's a really long pathway system over here. So if you go all the way, still going all the way over here, you can kind of see this area here where I built a little box, but I didn't even put glass in yet. This goes to the mountain base way in the south. And then actually up here there is a way that I made to get to the basalt deltas when collecting basalt. Heading back from that mountain base portal, if we head down this way, so it'd be down the stairs there, and then over here, this portal here leads to the desert tower. So now we can kind of head back over here, follow the pathway, and go this way. So this way is to the village and end portal, so following this path over here. This way is a newer portal. I believe this takes you to what I would call like my second base. There's another portal I kind of pointed out over there that has near the big castle that I built and the bee farm and stuff like that. But down here, this leads to the trading hall, and then this portal leads to the villager breeder. Going back this way, and here, there's a little pathway here that this little guy who's been here for a really long time, but this leads to the end portal area. I didn't show the end portal area, but it's not a significant build. So let's head back to the main Nether hub base area. It's what I call the main area, but it's just where my main base comes out. And let's take this pathway to the right. So this goes to the mining outpost, Cherry Grove, and Nether Fortress. So if you go this way, it goes down, and then there's a pathway over here. So this is my old Nether pathway. So I used to come out down here. I'd like come down here, and there's a mountain, so I kind of followed the mountain down, and then I made a little pathway that leads over here, and then it goes through here and over here. But I obviously changed that to a more neat and tidy build for the pathway. That goes this way, and as we hit this junction, this way goes to the Nether Fortress, and then this way goes to the Cherry Grove and the Taiga base. So we'll have a look at that first. So this way goes through here, and then up some stairs, and then here is partially built. I got lazy a lot when building these kind of glass boxes. I always really like the idea of having a glass box, like a safety box around all my portals, but I got lazy. So this is to the Cherry Grove, but then if we go through here and go this way and go all the way down here, this way leads to the old growth taiga base that I made. So we can head back now. Heading back through the Cherry base portal and back at the original junction here with the Nether Fortress. We can head up here, and now it gets a little less neat and tidy. So this is where this ends. This portal leads to the mining outpost. Again, not very neat and tidy, just haven't really gone this way in a long time. So then if we go through this path, we'll follow the pathway that I laid out. So over here, this was an area where I had trapped a piglin to barter with. So I put a chest down just to put some stuff away. Then we head into a warped forest where if we go down these steps and through this door, you'll find this little cobblestone box space that I made. Then we can head through here down some stairs, and then here's a pathway that I made to get to the Nether fortress. So it's not neat and tidy like my other ones. I never got around to doing that. But I did make a little nether rack pathway just to signify where to go and make it easier. Going down here, across here, down here, and we're almost there, and here we are. Here's another fortress. So if you go into here, this is a little base that I made, and there's another portal in here, and this actually leads to the birch house that I made. This is the birch biome one. So I created this portal, went through, and just saw where it brought me. And yeah, there's also another portal, I believe, that leads to the original like spruce base up in the spruce village in the snowy mountains, but I didn't make a pathway to get there. I just kind of found my way back, and I didn't like signify a way to get back, so I don't really remember where that is offhand, but I've seen it again. I believe in this Let's Play I've seen it again. I just don't remember where it is right now. But that's it for the tour of the Nether. And now we are back at home at my base, and that was pretty much it. I know there's probably more random things around my base that I've built, because I always build these little outposts and stuff whenever I am traveling, but those are kind of more so insignificant. These are more of the significant builds that I've done that I showed you today. And that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching this episode 500 world tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted to say again, thank you guys for supporting me for 500 episodes. You know, I recently hit 100 subscribers, and, you know, it means a lot to me that 100 people, whether they're real or not, would support me. So thank you all so much. So I'm going to end the episode now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I upload again. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.